Huh.
Hello there. Tonight's shave's going to be with my Boker SS St. Louis. It's a 6/8. I can't ever get, there we go. I want to get a picture of that etching on the blade. It's just a beautiful razor. This was my father-in-law's razor. I have this and a Lady Gillette that was his. He passed away. He was 96 when he passed. And I can't even begin to tell you how much this blade and the Lady Gillette means to me. So I'm going to use that, and for the soap tonight, we're going to use Tabac again, just because it's there. It's just wonderful, lovely soap, and we're going to use it again tonight. But for the brush, and it's been soaking a bit, so the hair won't be pretty, but B-Longs 12601. I got this brush from Steve and West on the Frugal Wet Shaver. $7 plus shipping. Just a wonderful. It looked brand new when I got it. This is first use. He even sent it in the package it was brought with. The only thing, and my bulbs, I believe, up top, my fluorescent bulbs are buzzing. I don't know if it'll come over the video or not. If it does, can't help it. That's all the lighting that I've got, and I need it. We've got a pretty good storm, pretty good wind going on outside, and you may hear some of that. That might have something to do with the noise that the lighting is making. I don't know. I don't know if you'll even be able to hear it, but anyway, like I was saying, the brush looked brand new. The only thing that told me that it wasn't brand new was that it didn't smell like a horse's butt. It smelled like some kind of soap, some kind of shaving soap. So I'm grateful for that. But it feels, dry, fairly soft on the face. I think it's going to be an absolutely wonderful brush. I've been wanting to try horsehair for quite some time. I just, just like with the Tabac, I never really got around to it. There's so much out there. And, you have to decide. I've got, most of us have limited funds, and we've got to kind of decide what we're going to do with what we've got, And for me, I just never, I got on like a vintage brush kick, and did a lot of restorations. Well, not a lot, like 1, 2, 3, 2 restorations, and a couple of reknots, that kind of deal, and just spent most of my time in brushland there, and just never got around to ordering a horsehair. And I saw this on the Frugal Wet Shaver listed. He said $7 plus shipping, and I jumped on it as quick as I could because I've been wanting one for a while. There's a little bit of scritch, and to believe it or not, this soap could take more water, and I'm going to add a bit for the second pass. But $7, and I thought, yeah, I think I will give that a shot at $7. Oh yeah, much better. And like I say, it's a beautiful brush. I think that I got a bit afraid when I first, on my first lather with that. I've heard of them, excuse me, my towel fell down. Alright. I've heard of getting holes in the center of it from using too much pressure, that kind of thing, and I didn't load my brush as aggressively as I normally would, so it took a little bit more to make a lather because I didn't have as much lather in the brush, and I didn't, use it as hard as I normally do. But I mean, I don't know if you can see it. There's plenty of lather in that bowl. So even with a lesser load than what I normally would, the Tabac performed really well. So. This soap, the scent on it is just, like I said before, it's hard to describe it, but it's absolutely wonderful. And when you get a scent that is difficult to describe, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I don't have a lot of experience with scents and stuff like that, so take it for what you think it's worth. But in my opinion, when you get a scent that is really pleasant and put together well, and you can't really describe it, or I can't at least, then what I tend to think is that it's a really well balanced scent profile, and the perfumer did his or her job really well when they created the scent. Oh yes, now I put a good tablespoon of water in that bowl when I put water in it just a while back, before that, or in the middle of that first pass. And look at that. You know, that tells me it holds an awful lot of water. Now this brush, you know, the first pass with it, and I'm using painting strokes because I don't face lather. I don't need circular motions because I don't face lather. I'm not building lather, I'm just putting it on my face. So, but that first pass, when I put the brush to my face, initially I got a slight bit of scritch, which is not something that I don't like. I like a little bit of scritch. Matter of fact, if I can get it, a cheap little Pure Badger brush, I love them. You know, and they got a bit of scritch going on. But now, it was ever so slight. For me, now somebody that's used to big fat pillows of softness in a brush might see it differently. But for me, it was a very slight bit of scritch, and it did not last very long. And on the lather for this second pass, it wasn't present, so maybe once the lather gets absorbed into the bristles really good, that it changes things a bit. But right now it's soft as a cloud, you know, soft as a feather. Lovely. Alright. I think the brush is like 17 bucks new, or 18 bucks. Something like that. In my opinion, you know, the horse brushes are, none of them are really super expensive. I imagine you could probably find a maker that would sell you one fairly expensive, but the Vilongs or V-Longs, I mean, I think the most expensive one on Maggard sites is either in the $40 or $60. I want to say 48, 45, something like that. And to me, they remind me of a boar brush, and I don't mean in the way that they uh, work, because the brush feels like a badger to me, but the bristles, the size and thickness of the bristles remind me of a boar. But what I mean by, they're kind of like, or I consider them kind of like boars. A boar brush, you can get a really, really nice boar brush pretty cheap. I think my smokes, which were given to me early on by a very good friend of mine, someone that I consider a very good friend. Not just because he gave me something, but because my interactions with him and watching him interact with other people on the forums and Facebook and things like that make me want to be a friend of his. He's just genuinely a really great kind of guy. But they were, I think they're between 14 and 18 bucks, right around the same as the V-Long here, this V-Long. And so they sort of, horsehair brushes sort of remind me of the badgers in that they're economical, but they have a feel to them. At least this one does, and this is like, I think it's 65% tail and 35% mane is what the mixed ratio of this is, if I'm not mistaken. They have a feel that's really close to like Best Badger. And I mean a good Best Badger, like a Simpson Best Badger. My Simpson Best Badger. They have a feel that's similar to Best Badger in softness and scritch. But like I said, the bristles are thick like a boar. And, I think you could really do a lot worse for a brush than the horsehair. Now, if I was given recommendations, I would naturally, for a beginner, either recommend if they were looking for an economical brush, I'd recommend a boar, just because I know the smokes that I have are just absolutely wonderful first quality brushes. But I'm cleaning this off. But if you're new to wet shaving and you're looking for a good brush, I really think you might like a horse. But I mean, this is the first time that I've used it. There's a look at it. And I don't know about the hole that people get in the center, how long, whether that's going to be a problem for me, the way that I lather with it and stuff like that. So that would be one of the reasons that I might hesitate to recommend it to a beginner, because it's hard enough to learn how to lather without having to worry about getting a hole in the middle of your brush. And like I said, this is my first, and I don't know. I suspect what it is that people are using the brush really hard and heavy. But that's something a beginner tends to do sometimes too. But, I mean, if you've got some experience with lathering soaps and you're looking to try something besides a boar, or if you got boar and badger and you're wondering what horse is like, you know, that's a beautiful brush for like 18 bucks. It's even more beautiful for what I paid for it, for $7. You know, and I would encourage you to take a look at horse, because I think we're going to be good friends. I just got to learn the intricacies and ins and outs of shaving with it, making lather with it and stuff like that. Which, I mean, you saw. I mean, my videos are not cut. They're not edited. It lathered really well. So, for a first-time user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the shave off with some vintage Avon Wild Country. Love this stuff. I don't know what the new stuff. I know that Avon still sells Wild Country. Lovely. They say that this is modeled after Pinard Clubbing, and there's a resemblance, but this is unique enough and different enough to stand on its own. And like I said, I don't know what the new stuff smells like. I think I ought to kind of give it a go and see. But I like the vintage. It's one of the ones that I started with. That and Old Spice are, you know, the two that I started shaving with when I was young. So, alright. Thanks for being a part of what I'm doing here. Watching my videos and commenting and just following me and being the really cool people that you guys are, my subscribers. I really thank you a lot. If you're new and you're just watching me for the first time, if you like what you saw, hey man, subscribe. Alright, God bless you all, and I will see you later.